Hello, welcome back. I'm Lori Williams. I'm a psychic medium, energy healer, animal communicator, and spiritual teacher. And today I want to talk to you about my experience with using spiritual tools as a crutch. So, this is just my own experience. By all means, you can do whatever you want, but I encourage you to listen to what I have to say and then, obviously act accordingly. So I see in spiritual circles, unfortunately, a lot where you have to have all these things. You have to be having like tarot cards or oracle cards, and crystals don't really necessarily fall into the same aspect because they're a healing tool, and they actually do work for healing. So I wouldn't use those necessarily, but I'll give you the example of what happened in my own experience. So every single Monday, I would pull cards for myself. Every Monday, it never failed. I've done it for years and years and years. And it just hit me probably within like the last month or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, that like, why am I pulling these cards? Why am I relying on these cards to be able to not only have a connection, because I know I can connect without them. So why am I relying on the cards to have the connection? Why am I relying on the cards to tell me what is in store for me for the week? Why am I relying on the cards to give me like any kind of peace of mind? This needs to be an inside job, especially like as far as I'm concerned at my at my point of this game of life. I've been into the spiritual stuff now for almost 10 years, and they're great. They're fun, don't get me wrong. But what I realized is I wasn't truly living. When I was reading the cards, I'm using the cards as a connection. That's like, I mean, I can connect with guides all day long without them. So to use that as a crutch to connect wasn't actually helping me to strengthen my connection with guides. And the thing is I had made myself believe at some point that I can connect with other people's guides all day long really easily, but that I struggled to connect with my own. And that honestly, it became my story. It became the truth that for me anyway, that I could not, or I struggled to connect with my guides. So using the cards was my kind of surefire way of making sure that I could actually connect with them for myself. So this became a crutch for me. It became a crutch of knowing what was going to happen that next week. It was a crutch for me to use the cards to have a connection until it hit me recently, where it was like, change your story. Just change your story. If I believe that I have a hard time connecting with my guides, I'm going to have a hard time connecting with my guides. If I believe the only way I can connect with my guides is through the oracle cards, then that's going to be my truth, because that's the story that I'm telling myself. In If I continue to pull cards for myself, I'm not actually living. I'm not living. It kind of got boring for me because I was like, I already knew it was going to happen within that week, and it always did. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my readings are definitely accurate, but I had no excitement of life anymore. I had no excitement, nothing to look forward to. So I do not. I never pull cards for myself anymore, ever. Um, Mostly because I want to be able to make a decision every single day to wake up with excitement of what's going to happen that day. I don't want the cards to tell me, or my guides even, to tell me what I need to expect that day, what's going to happen. All of that is irrelevant. I just want to wake up with the excitement of like a kid on Christmas morning and face the day with that excitement and see what unfolds for me. Because that's when you're truly living. When I was using the cards as a gift or as a crutch, it was like, okay, well, yeah, that happened. And at first, when the cards were right, it would be exciting for me because it was that validation, right? But I mean, that was just feeding my ego. I was not actually getting anything of any value out of it. And since I have stopped using the cards, I actually feel like I'm living now. I actually feel like I have that childlike excitement in the morning, and then it lasts all through the day as well. When things happen, I know they're always happening for my highest good, and I get excited about it. The cards, not using the cards or not relying on them as a crutch, has completely allowed me to rely on myself, to rely on my higher self, to fully step into that higher self aspect of who I am with confidence and fearlessness. And I don't believe I would have ever got there without letting go of using the cards. I'm just using the cards as an example, but there's many different tools that we use as a crutch that we're actually holding ourselves back from our own standing in our own power. And that's what I want to warn against, because as much fun as they are, I love doing readings. And I have not done a reading for myself in over a month now. I think it's been over a month now. I don't have any plans on doing a reading for myself in the near future. Can I say that I will never ever do another reading? Absolutely not. I might, but I feel that I need to really just trust my path, trust my guides, trust myself, and trust that every single day is just going to unfold exactly as it's meant to. I know that deep, that's like a core belief, like deep in my soul, I know that to be true. But it's like I had this belief of knowing that everything was going to unfold exactly as it was meant to. But then when it came down to it, it was like I didn't trust that process. It's quite different when you start believing in yourself and trusting in yourself rather than trying to find something outside of yourself to be able to trust it and believe in. Um, I will still, if I'm like really struggling around clarity or anything like that, I will still use my cards once in a while. I'm sure I will. It's not like that I hate them or anything like that, and I'll still use them for clients. I just never want to get back into that every Monday like structure of doing it once a week. For me, it was definitely too much. And it started to make life feel like more of a chore than something to be excited about. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care. Bye for now.